bartender says, I'm sorry, we don't serve blanks here. And the 185 blanks say, bada boom ching. You guys are going to give us the blanks. These guys are going to give us the bada boom ching. So, to start things out, from you guys, if I can get, let's start with an animal. Red panda. Sorry? A narwhal. Nice and easy to start things off with. Narwhal.
185 narwhals walk into a bar. The bartender says, I don't know what you are, so get out of my bar.
185 narwhals walk into a bar. A bartender says, I can't serve you here. And the narwhals just say, wait.
185 narwhals walk into a bar and order 185 beers, and the bartender says, hey, I don't serve your kind around here. So the narwhals, then they just stab them a million times with their horns to serve as a warning for all the other bartenders.
185 narwhals walk into a bar. Bartender says, I can't really serve you guys. You guys just get drunk way too fast. And the narwhals say, oh, come on, just give us a splash.
185 narwhals walk into a bar and they're just looking to get laid because they're very horny.
185 narwhals walk into a bar and the bartender says, what'll it be? And 185 narwhals say, and the bartender says, stop your blubbering.
Hey! 185 narwhals walk right into an old western saloon town and the bartender says, I'm not going to serve you guys in here. Go get back on the horse you rode in on, because it's a unicorn that they rode in. It was in my head.
Alright, so the new topic. How about a profession?
Astronaut.
Sorry?
Steve Dorn.
I don't know what that is, so I'm going to guess.
Astronaut.
Come up here. Astronaut. Astronauts. 185 astronauts.
185 astronauts walk into a bar and order beer, and the bartender says, okay, I will serve you. Actually, I'm not going to serve you. We'll have the Russian Space Agency serve you, and we'll pay them.
185 astronauts walk into a bar. Bartender says, what can I get you? So they order a couple of drinks, some appetizers. They eat, they drink. Bartender says, hey, we're having a special tonight. You ordered appetizers, so here's a whole bunch more for free. And they go, oh, thanks, but I'm so full, I just don't have the space. 185 astronauts walk into a bar, and the bartender says, yeah, I'll serve you. It's like 20 bucks a drink. And the astronauts all respond, that's astronomical.
Hey!
185 astronauts walk into a bar. Bartender says, hey, it's been a long time since I've seen you in here. 185 astronauts say, well, I've taken 12 small steps for man.
185 astronauts go to the hotel, and they're at the hotel, and they're like, okay, let's go across town to the bar. So they go across town to the bar. They order 185 drinks. And they drink them down, and they order another 185 drinks, and they drink them down, and they order another 185 drinks down. The bartender says, hey, aren't you guys just a little too tissy driving? They go, that's okay, we came on the shuttle.
185 astronauts walk into a bar. Bartender says, what are you having? The astronauts all reply, Blue Moon. 185 walk into a bar and order a beer, and the bartender says, what do you want? I got beer, I got mixed drinks, and they says, I want a Cosmo. Not.
185 astronauts walk into a bar and get a little buzzed. 185 astronauts walk into the bar. The bartender says, I'm sorry, we don't serve astronauts here. The astronauts get really mad and they drop their pants in the moon.
185 astronauts walk into a bar and they order a round of beers. And they order another round of beers. And they order another round of beers. And then they order another round of beers. And then they order another round of beers. And the bartender says, hey, you guys, don't you think you've had enough? And then the astronauts, they all kind of lean over at the bartender and say in unison, it was really eerie, hey man, you've been in space. Soyuz better listen to us.
185 astronauts walk into a bar, and the bartender's really far away, saying, hey, bartender, come near.
All right. Okay, let's try over to the animal. Let's try the animal.
That was a trash flavor.
Platypus. 185 platypi.
185 platypus walk into a bar, and they start charging it on some other guys, and they say, hey man, who should I give this to? And say, give him the bill. It's really the only joke there is, Mary.
any bar that has 185 plates of pie, I'm there.
That joke's appearing here.
Yeah, there's 3.14 bars that way.
Okay.
joke laid an egg.
Middle section.
Dock worker.
Dock worker.
What is Steve George?
Hey, that's what Steve George is. There you go.
It's a word. 185 dock workers walk into a bar. Well, at least they try to walk into a bar, but unfortunately it's so incredibly late that the bar's closed, so they say, that's just great.
185 dock workers order a whole bunch of beer from the bartender. The bartender says, I'm sorry, I'm not to cut you off. You've had too much. 185 dock workers say, hey, we're not as drunk as we appear.
185 dock workers walk into a bar. Bartender says, oh, I'm sorry, we can't serve you guys here. And one dock worker turns to the other one and goes, see?
185 dock workers walk into a bar. They have had a few drinks. The bartender goes to cut them off. This guy's about way too much to drink. He says, we have knots.
185 dock workers walk into a bar and order a beer, and the bartender says, all right, I'll serve you. And he pours a whole bunch of mix for drinking, and he sets it down and he says, here, you guys need to, as a team, stir.
185 dock workers walk into a bar, bartender says, what will it be? And 185 dock workers say, what's on sale? 185 dock workers walk into a bar and they see a pretty lady, and so they all go over by the pretty lady and they're like, hey lady, we wanna, and then just as they're about to finish their liner, the bartender says, hey, I told you not to come into this place anymore. And then the 185 dock workers all turn and they look at the bartender and they say, hey man, way to cock, block, and tackle me.
185 dock workers bother the exact same woman that Eel was talking about. And the woman is still not interested, so the bartender can't help but go, oh, John.
185 dock workers walk into a bar, but they don't know where to sit down. But then Michael Dorn walks in and sits at a table, and they all go to the wharf.
Yeah!